All right, so there's one other car in the parking lot right now, but we're gonna still go ahead and continue. Oh, I just dinged my sound bowl, so that's what that noise was. But last night I recorded the video, literally right after I came home from the date, and throughout today, it's been a very peculiar few weeks for me. I feel like every week has brought at least one day of one week it was kind of like back to back days, and then this week it was like bam, another just like basically I've had random encounters with strangers. Two of them back to back were in person, like real people that I like were faced like I was confronted face to face with, and then like 2 or 3 nights ago I got confronted with somebody over the phone because they texted somebody thinking it was someone entirely different. And that one was a very peculiar one because it kind of tapped into something that I felt like I had overcome in this journey of semen retention. And I made a whole video about semen retention, and I thought, man, it's always so funny because I found myself in this particular sort of not exact scenario, but I found myself in this exact sort of mindset before, where I'm like, okay, like when I learned to like how to meditate, right? I was like, oh man, this is gonna do so much like wonders for me. Like it's just gonna make me like unstoppable, not unstoppable, but like it's gonna make me perfect. Like that was it, I wasn't exactly thinking that, but it was more so like, yeah, like now that I know how to meditate, I'm just gonna be able to handle everything. Like it was kind of like, yeah, unstoppable. Like that was the kind of mindset that I had when I learned how to meditate. And then as time kind of like unfolded, I was like, oh damn, like no, yeah, that's not true. Not to say that meditating hasn't helped me out per se, but it definitely kind of it just wasn't what I thought it was in the beginning. But I'm still beyond grateful that I picked up the habit of just meditating as much as I possibly can. Sometimes it's not every day, sometimes it's not every night, but I've been doing it as much as I can, and it's definitely helped me out. In terms of just feeling restful, like, or just feeling like I'm rested or whatever, right? And then, now that this journey of semen retention has been going on for however long it's been going on. Again, I haven't been keeping count with how many days, how many weeks, how many months. I know it's been a certain, like, I can probably say maybe 6 months, or just like a rough estimate of how much time has passed, right? I'm thinking, okay, wow, like I'm meditating, semen retention, it's not like I'm going to stop doing it just because I realized like, oh, life is still difficult. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is these habits or these things that I've picked up on meditating and semen retention, right? They've been welcomed into my life. And I thought, since now that they're here, nothing is going to stop me. I'm on top of the world, like, but that's not the case. That's not the case. And it's not to say now I'm going to just stop meditating and now I'm just going to stop practicing semen retention. I'm going to continue on that path just because it feels so natural. Like I haven't had the urge to stop meditating. I haven't had the urge to quit semen retention. It's just like, wow, like, man. And I know that it's just been a few months, but I'm not going to also fall under the illusion that like, oh yeah, if I keep this going for this amount of time, like maybe in a year or 2 years, like I'm not going to have that expectation, because I know that that's all, I'm well aware that that's also a trap, I'm now realizing like, oh yeah, and like the best way that I could talk about it, right, is with semen retention. I thought that, okay, I'm not really like, the P word, the P website, right? Like, I haven't visited that in so long. Like, I'm not so lustful anymore. Blah blah blah. And the next thing I know, I got this random scenario going on where a random number texted me. They thought I was someone different, and then they're all fucking like all freaked the fuck out, and and then it's just affecting me, dragging me back, and regressing me back into like some like the old version of myself that was driven on lust and driven on wanting to just do some freaky stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and again, these videos, maybe it sounds like I'm exposing myself, but I mean, like, these are the things that I feel like like need to be. I'm look, I'm not saying everybody else should be bringing it up to this. Like, I'm not saying that everybody else should also be bringing this up to the surface. I'm just gonna be the one that goes ahead and does it just for the sake of everybody else. Okay. Every person out there. Oh, I just touched my microphone, so that probably made a loud noise. My bad. But I'm not saying everybody needs to do this. You know, I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and make videos and discuss about their lustful wishes or whatever. I'm just simply just saying that I'm gonna be the one to do it, and that's it. I'm not looking back. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll regret this. Who fucking knows? Anything can fucking happen. But what I want to talk about, right, was today I texted my group chat of friends that know that I upload these videos. Shout out to them. They have a special place in my heart. They really do. And then I texted this other guy that I used to work with, and I said that perfection may not exist, but progression is real, you know? And I want, like, maybe it sounds corny to say, but I really do want anybody that listens to that exact sentence to sit with that. If you're a perfectionist, right, by any means, or if you're striving to just be perfect, then eventually you'll realize that that perfection, that perfect image of you that you hold so highly, is a damaging idea to hold. Because if you set yourself up, and there's nothing wrong with setting yourself up to like a high bar, you know, but there's also a danger to that. Like, there's just simply a danger to that when you set this image of yourself that it's like, okay, I'm inevitable, right? Like, I can't be stopped. I'm so perfect, blah, 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 this and that. It's just like, let's be realistic about this, okay? When I first learned how to meditate, when I partook in the journey of my accidental semen retention journey, right? The idea got to me that I was just unstoppable. And the next thing I know, the universe revealed to me, randomly, out of the blue, a random number texts me, blah, blah, blah. I engage. And then I'm just feeling ashamed. I'm just like, oh, this is not good. Like, I feel so ashamed. Like, this is not what I thought I was. Like, I shouldn't be doing this and that. But it's just like, calm down, okay? Progression is real. Perfectionism is not real. You simply cannot be perfect, okay? You simply cannot be perfect. And you know what? Maybe we are perfect the way that we already are. That's a possibility. I'd like to think so. But this image that we uphold way out of there, that is simply not us, you know? If you do something that doesn't feel like, oh, that's not what my perfect self would be doing, you'll feel this sense of like shame, and you'll kind of want to beat yourself up over it, because you're like, I'm not upholding the image of myself that I want to be at. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, this is why people say, like, you know, take a step forward a day, 1% more a day, something like that, you know, because if you try to just knock out every day like at 100%, you're just going to tire yourself out. Simply put, you're really just going to tire yourself out. It's just not a realistic thing to uphold. And even the people that you think are upholding that image 100% every day, it's just simply not viable. It's like, it's not possible. It's simply not possible. Like, they also crack under the pressure, you know, something that they really like held on to in the past, that they think like, oh, I'm not, you know, like, don't get me wrong. I do believe that over time, through the years, something that you were doing in the past, right, that if you do now, you kind of feel ashamed to do. And you can apply this to just about anything, like drinking alcohol, smoking weed, whatever it may be, any sort of vice, smoking nicotine. It could be anything, literally anything. If you were once doing that, later, you know, if you were once doing that and you want to get away from that, it just simply doesn't happen in the snap of your finger. It happens through experiencing it over and over again until you've had enough. Once you have enough, that is the progress. That is progression. That is as real as it can get. Being perfect is simply just not real. And again, it's not to knock anyone down that's going towards the direction of being what they imagine to be perfect, because eventually you shall get there. So again, being perfect, or just simply put, Let me actually look at the message that I sent, because I felt like I worded it perfectly in there. Let me see. Perfection might not exist, but progression is real. Perfection might not exist, but progression is real. So yes, when you go out and you're doing the thing that you want to become, right? When I come out and do these videos that I'm recording, of course, maybe perfection could maybe look like, yes, I've built this, I have this large audience, and people take my word so highly, and this and that, right? Is that really going to happen overnight, or just because I think it? No. It's the progress. It's the journey to get there that makes you earn that. There's so many things, like if you just had it now, do you think that it would really be something that would last? Would it have a solid? I made this video yesterday recording. Same thing. I made this video yesterday talking about how I had just come back from a date, and I talked about how a foundational strong base is a good thing to have for a long-lasting relationship. The same could apply to just about anything. I promise you it does. If you want to have a long-lasting career, then do it on something that you love. If you want to have a long-lasting, loving family, do it with love. If you want to have this vision, if you want to reach whatever goal it may be, do it with love and grace and peace, and just don't push yourself so hard. Some days you might have to push yourself really hard to your limits and even break those limits, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful experience. But are those days every day? Absolutely not. You just simply wouldn't make it. You would tire yourself out. And then it's like some days you really do just need to sit with it, reflect, and just learn. Just learn, just sit with it, learn, and then you'll be okay. Okay? Like this idea of people needing to go out and giving their 100% every day is just like, I don't know where the idea came from, but it's just like chill. And like maybe those people that give like their 100% every day, and anything is possible. Like I said in some of these videos, I've said that before. Like there might be people out there that give their 100% every day. If they do exist, kudos to them. But just give yourself peace and grace in your day-to-day life, and understand that if there's a goal or a vision that you have that you know for a fact you're going to get to, just know progression is way more real than perfection is. That's how I'm going to just put it out there, okay? So let's see. How long am I into this video? This might be one of my shorter videos, because that's basically what I wanted to get out, I really do want to have love for myself in this journey. I don't want to be mean to myself or rude to myself. Like hunger for achieving a goal is definitely a good thing to have. But you got to also there's some days you need to rest. There's some days where maybe you can't give it your all. Like everyone catches a cold. Like maybe that might be the better day to just chill, just relax. Rest is just as important as working hard. 1000%. Everyone needs to go to sleep sometime. Maybe some nights you just can't get some sleep. But on the third or fourth night after not sleeping after a while, you'll start to maybe have some hallucinations or something like that, and then you're like, okay, I need to go to sleep. At some point you have to rest. That is a part of the progress. That is a part of the process. Resting is a part of the process. Reflecting is a part of the process. Feeling shame over still smoking nicotine, or participating or partaking in a lustful action is totally fine. It's just the taking the step forward to then thinking about it and reflecting about it and being like, oh yeah, I could do better without that. I'm 10 million times better or whatever without that in my life. And just to say it, right? If it were to happen again for me, right, where I find myself like, oh man, I'm still doing semen retention, but then I have this lustful situation just arises out of nowhere. It's not like I'm back at square one. It's not like I'm back 5 years ago or however many years will pass. It's not like I'm back there all over again. It's simply put, okay, what did I learn from this situation this time? How can I move forward so that I could just take that 1% step more often than not. Okay, that's how I'm going to put it out there. Um, so yeah, now go enjoy your life, and I sincerely do really mean that. That's it.